Casey here with CL Creative, where I'm teaching you web design and Webflow one video at a time. And today I'm going to show you how to use SplitType along with GSAP ScrollTrigger in order to fade text in as you scroll through a section. Let's jump into the computer and check things out. All right, well, here we are inside of the computer. This is what we're going to be animating right here, this text into place. So the opacity is going to be reduced, and it's going to update up to an opacity of 1. It's not very difficult to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we jump back into my Webflow project here, you're going to see that I have this text set up on the screen. The initial HTML is not very difficult at all, or really all of it, but I use client first, and so this is why you see this structure right here, but this is where we want to get down to, this embed. We're going to open that up, and you're going to notice that I just simply place an H2 tag in here, and then I'm giving this a class of heading style display -1, and that's because this display 1 I'm utilizing to increase the font size of my text that I'm using project wide. This is what I'm going to get to that we need to add onto our project, and so we're going to add an ID of SplitType text. So you want to make sure that you add that. Now, I have this right here. You're probably wondering what that is. And this is simply just connecting to the CMS so that it allows me to pull in different keywords for this particular page. That's on another video for another day. Now, here we go right here. What I've done is just go ahead and write my CSS for this particular text inside of this embed. So I'm opening up my style tags, I'm closed them, and then I've taken this ID that we've given our text, and I've also added this class .char. Now this is important because whenever the SplitType library that I'm going to show you here in just a moment splits up the text, it's going to add this class to it. And so this is how we're going to be able to target it and reduce its opacity. The next thing that I'm going to show you here is our code inside of another embed that I have. And so we need to load a couple of different libraries on inside of our project. And so one of them is going to be GSAP. So I've essentially loaded GSAP's base library as well as ScrollTrigger, and then I have loaded this SplitType library. So let me show those real quick. If we go over here to GSAP, you can just type in GSAP, go to their website. Up here, it'll have Get Started. You click Get Started, it's going to bring you to this installation page. You want to click on CDN, and then you want to click on ScrollTrigger. Once you do that, you're going to get everything that you need right here. And so you're simply just going to copy this, and you're going to place this inside of your project like I've done here. And then the other thing that you need to make sure that you do is inside of our code block, after the document has loaded, we want to make sure that we are registering ScrollTrigger. So you want to grab this piece of code right here, or you can grab all of this and just place this inside of your Webflow project. But we want to make sure you register this so that ScrollTrigger will be actively working. And so if I hop back over here, you can see that I have indeed done that. Now I'm not using document loaded. I'm actually using this window.webflow, but it's essentially the same thing. This is just something that I prefer, but you notice that I have the ScrollTrigger inside here that I am loading. And then we're going to get to the other library that we need to make sure that we load, which is our SplitType library. And so I'll place a link to this in the description as well. But essentially, this allows us to use a CDN. So you might be asking, well, why don't you just use GSAP the entire time? GSAP can split the text up like you're wanting to do. Well, it can, but you have to be a part of their paid program in order to get access to those files. And they don't really serve via CDN, and this one does. So this is why I'm using this. So you just take this CDN file here, come back over here to your embed, and then you just paste it right here. Now I've added an additional defer tag as well as to these, just to make sure that everything is deferred whenever it's being loaded. Okay, so we come back over here, and this is one of the things that we need to make sure that we grab. If we scroll down, you're going to look and you're going to see, well, here are the different types that you can utilize. And so what I'm actually going to be utilizing is the characters. So I want this to scroll in. If we go back over here to the site, you're going to notice that it's not scrolling in per word, but it's scrolling in per character. And so we want to make sure that we use this middle one right here. And so simply just grab this particular code. Now I'm going to switch over here to my code editor just so that we can see this a little bit better. I can make this bigger, and then I can also scroll in so we can see everything that is going on. So what I've done is essentially just pasted this in right here. So we have our type and our words. And then the next thing, if we go back over here, we're going to notice, okay, how do we access this? And what is it that we want to access? Well, what we actually want to access is text.chars, because we want to access the individual character elements. We're not going to console log those, but we're going to utilize this inside of our GSAP. So, we can simply copy that. And then we're going to come back over here. And if you've noticed, I've opened up just a simple GSAP 2 tween. And so this is really all the code that you're going to need in the project. Mainly, it's just getting things set up with these different links. So GSAP.2, you have your text.chars. This is, remember from our NPN page over here for the SplitType. And then we're going to, this is the animation that I'm going to do. You could have your own animation, but the animation that I want is I simply just want to fade these in. So I'm going to go from opacity of 0.25, remember inside of our project, to 1. This is going to be a duration of 0.5. And so this is how long it's going to take for this to take place. And then we're going to stagger. And this is important. You want to add each. So you want to stagger in each character. And I'm going to do this at 0.05. And then here's our scroll trigger. And what we're actually going to be doing, the trigger is going to be the actual text. So we're targeting that with its ID. And we're going to start the animation at the top of our text. So if we hop back over here to our project, the animation is going to start at the top of this text here, and it's going to start at the center of the viewport. And then everything is going to end when the bottom of this animation hits the bottom of the viewport. And so we can see that right here. We're starting at the top, in the center, bottom, center. And I'm using scrub 1 just to give it the smoothness that you see there. So that if I keep going a little bit, you see that it moves. It keeps moving even after I have stopped, just so that it looks a bit smoother. And really that's all that you need to do in order to make sure that this is set up and working properly. And you can put this in your project and have a nice scroll animation that you've seen on other people's websites now can be on yours with just a little bit of code. Now, of course, I'll place all of this code in a blog post that will be linked in the description below. If you liked this video, would you give it a thumbs up? If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and press the notification button so you'll be notified whenever new videos come out. I'm putting out videos each and every single week, teaching you Webflow, teaching you web design, and adding in some of this custom code stuff that will help elevate your project to the next level. And if you have a video that you want to see, you want me to make, then place that down in the description and I'll try to make that for you. Hope to see you on the next one.